I think the coronavirus was a big shock to a lot of African countries because a lot of countries rely on oil, they rely on the products, they rely on the revenue coming out of oil. I think after you had the shock of the coronavirus, demand in a big market like China reduced. And then for most African countries, the revenues that they get from oil in their budgets and their economy, it all collapsed because some of them had based their budgets out of $50 oil. Now they were going to start getting revenue based on $30 or even $25, and that is ultimately very low and not very good for them. But also we have to look at what the potential impact was for projects that were coming up. What we had is a lot of projects around Africa, from Senegal to Mozambique to Gabon, Congo, Nigeria, Ghana even. A lot of these countries were relying on, because of the oil market and the oil prices, so that new fields could be drilled, new LNG projects and new things could happen. All of that, a lot of that they have stopped or been postponed. And so it's had a devastating impact on the Africa oil market, but we're hoping that it could pick up and we could see some resurgence thanks to the OPEC agreement.
Okay, and what are your predictions for the future of the market?
I think the future for the market is strong. It has a lot of potential. The OPEC deal, most people thought was not going to happen. They thought it was going to be a disaster. It was nothing. But what they saw as a disaster became a bonanza. So that says a lot of things can work when we come together. There is the fundamentals in Africa are strong. Don't forget, this is a continent with 1 billion people. 650 million people do not have any access to power. So you're going to see a lot of power generation through gas to power, nuclear power, and other kind of technologies. But when it comes to oil, it is a vastly untapped and underexplored continent. So you're going to see a lot of wells are going to be drilled and a lot of oil is going to be found. So the potential is there, but the big question is, what do we do with the opportunities we get? How do we move forward to make sure that everybody, all African children, are included in the prosperity that we're going to see in the future? It does affect the rest in the world. Right now, coronavirus has not really hit Africa the way it's hit the US and Europe and other continents. I mean, the highest numbers we're seeing right now is South Africa with about 2,200, followed by La République du Cameroon, where you're seeing them somewhere around 835. You've seen some other countries with 45. Senegal is talking about 300. So this is when Africa gets hit, the world gets hit, because this is a virus that deals with everybody and it doesn't discriminate. But also the energy industry, when the African energy industry is down, people in the US, a lot of American jobs are coming out of Africa because a lot of high technical people that are working on offshore rigs, that are geologists, petroleum engineers, that their jobs are somehow related to Africa. That's all going to be gone. They would have no jobs. A lot of technology companies will not be able to sell their technology into Africa. A lot of drilling rig companies will not be able to bring rigs into Africa. A lot of new things that we interface ourselves with, commerce and different kind of trading, it's not going to happen because let's face it, the bottom line is money. If you don't have money, you can't buy anything. So I think what happens in Africa has a direct impact on what happened in America, in Mexico, in Latin America, and in a lot of other countries around the world. That's why we need to take it serious, because when Africa is strong, we all are strong and we all are prosperous as a people.
Here in the USA, the gas price is lower than usual. It is because the coronavirus impact on the oil?
Absolutely. You could see the impact of the coronavirus on the oil markets. The demand is very weak. So what happened, the price war also that where you had Saudi Arabia and Russia flooded the market with oil, then and so the prices dropped as well. But be careful with that. You have really low oil right now. That means you can get your car and go out and drive and take that vacation, but you get a virus in the air. So even with low oil prices, you still can't go on that vacation. You still can't drive to visit a friend. You can't go to San Bernardino or San Francisco, or Los Angeles, or anywhere. You have to stay where you are. So low prices mean nothing for you. What does low prices give you if everybody is going to be sick around you? So the tourism industry is going bankrupt. The airline industry is going bankrupt, and everyday people, working people, are losing their jobs every day. And that's what we must pay attention to. We must pay attention to jobs, because we come from a community where when the big boys are on a depression, when the big boys are facing a recession, we are already in a depression. So we get hit harder. So we have to look at stability in the market so that we get jobs, we keep our people working so that people can really grow. I think we have to expect growth. We have to expect stability. We don't want to see oil prices go right up. We don't want to see them go too low. We want to see a big rebound, but that rebound has to include people. And you're going to see a lot of things happening around Africa where projects are going to happen. We're going to see a lot of new drilling. We're going to see a lot of new exchange, but also we have learned a lot. We've learned that we can use our skills to empower our people, grow together, work together, and really become that Africa that we deserve, and really see, because at the end of the day, we want to see our people putting their fingers up and saying "Viva la Raza" as everybody wants. So we want to make sure that happens. Carlos, do you really think some president would listen to a little country boy like me? But I think if they are listening, I think there's some things we can do. We have to have smaller governments. We have to embrace the market and let the market work for our people. We have to emphasize personal liberty, but also when we look at oil and gas, we have to know this is time to act. We have to look at the oil companies and look at how we can reduce their taxes, improve the economic terms so that oil companies can invest. We have to look at closing deals, because bureaucracy is killing us. It's killing us. We have to look at moving things. I'll give you an example. Ghana discovered oil the same time with Uganda in 2007, 2008. In 2010, Ghana started producing oil. Uganda in 2020 is still arguing with oil and gas companies. So that is unacceptable. Tanzania still has to move further with gas development. So we need to let these projects move forward. We need to engage more and have a strong dialogue on how we can encourage more drilling, but also we need to empower women. You can't leave out almost 50% of the population out of the energy sector. So the presidency should take strong government actions to mandate a new kind of, like what you call in the United States, minority set-asides, affirmative actions, women set-aside, to boost the empowerment of women so that they can be part. I've realized that when you have women in this industry, they handle the industry better, they manage better. Most of these guys, they like to drink champagne and party too much. So we need to bring women in the game, and it counts with presidential leadership from the top, and it will be driven right down. And if we do that, all of us would win for a better Africa and for a better community.